Cinema is undoubtedly one of the most appreciated forms of artistic expression due to its easy ability to convey emotions and feelings to viewers. This quality has allowed it to create a whole universe of films revolving around infinitely varied themes. One theme in particular stands out, and that is trucking cinema, which has gained great importance from its early appearances on the small screen to the projections of trucker stories on the big screen, with realistic accounts of the lives of those who work behind the wheel, to exciting science fiction and action stories. Remember that if any of these movies are your favorites, show your support with a like, subscribe to the channel, and share in the comments which truck-themed films you love the most. Steel Cowboy is an American drama film originally made for television. Starring James Brolin, Elmore Torn, and Jennifer Warren, and directed by Harvey S. Laidman, this 90-minute movie first aired on NBC on December 6, 1978, becoming another cult classic in the genre of trucker films in the United States. The film tells the story of Clayton Fanner, an independent trucker who, overwhelmed and on the brink of losing his marriage, his job, and his sanity due to financial difficulties, turns to illegal transportation jobs involving the movement of stolen cattle to be sold on the black market to keep his truck away from the creditors who wanted to repossess it. To accomplish this, Clayton uses all his experience and skills to navigate the highways, controlling tons of metal, rubber, and diesel. The starring roles in this film are played by a white Western Star 4800 and a Kenworth W900. Although with a simple premise, this movie was quite appreciated in its time because it managed to capture all the implications of long-haul trucking and the experiences of truckers, highlighting the faithful representation of the challenges and dangers that truck drivers face on the road every day to make a living behind the wheel. High Ballon is a Canadian action film released in 1978, with its truck-themed plot directed by Peter Carter. In this 97-minute film, the story has been described by critics as a modern Western, with trucks replacing horses. While this premise may sound somewhat simple, the movie turns out to be highly entertaining and enjoyable, with many action-packed scenes typical of this genre. The plot revolves around Iron Duke, an independent trucker who must confront an entire network of corruption orchestrated by a local trucking boss named King Carroll. The latter, aided by a gang led by his partner Harvey, carries out truck hijackings, threats, and vandalism in order to control the trucking business in the region. However, Duke, along with his friend Rain, sets out to stop this problem so they can work freely and without pressure, inspiring other independent truckers to resist and continue the fight. Curiously, due to its plot and what it represents, you can find this movie under the name Convoy 2, as if it were a kind of sequel to the first Convoy movie, which we mentioned in the previous video. Released in 1977, Breaker Breaker is a film directed by Don Houellette and starring the legendary Chuck Norris. This film strikes an entertaining balance between exciting truck scenes and action-packed fights, characteristic of the American actor's films. The plot revolves around the small town of Texas City, which is plagued by serious corruption problems that primarily affect truckers. The main character, John J.D. Dawes, is forced to travel to Texas after his younger brother, known as Billy, was tricked by a corrupt cop through the CB radio into a speed trap. In classic action movie style, JD tries to rescue his brother, but when faced with more serious problems, a simple CB radio call was enough to summon a group of truckers, all affected by the same issue, who gladly came to their aid. Thanks to this, it's possible to enjoy a visual delight consisting of a parade and gala of multiple iconic trucks, both cab-over and long-nose, from top brands like Kenworth. Despite being a relatively low-budget film, it was highly appreciated and valued even to this day, helping a young Chuck Norris propel his acting career to the legendary status he holds today. White Line Fever is a Canadian-American action and crime film released in 1975, directed by Jonathan Kaplan and starring Jan Michael Vincent. It tells the story of a young truck driver named Carol Joe, nicknamed CJ, who, after returning as a hero from his service in the Air Force during the Vietnam War, decides to continue his father's legacy in the trucking industry in Arizona. Back home, CJ marries his girlfriend, Jerry, and they decide to take out a bank loan to buy a truck and start their small trucking business. In their search, they find a cab over Ford WT 9000 truck, equipped with a Cummins engine, which they repaint with a white and blue color scheme and the words Blue Mule. CJ's intention was to return to work at Red River, the company where his father worked. However, he quickly realized that things were very different, and instead of being the agricultural transport company he knew, it had now become a logistics company for cigarettes, slot machines, and other types of contraband, with tax evasion schemes involved. All of this leads to CJ's refusal to get involved in the entire network of corruption that Red River was involved in, and even the local police, coordinated by an organization based in Phoenix called Glass House. Full of intense action scenes and chases, this is undoubtedly one of the cult films that has aged well and remained popular with the audience despite the years. Black Dog is a 1998 American action thriller film directed by Kevin Hooks and starring Patrick Swayze, Randy Travis, and Meatloaf. The movie tells the story of a truck driver named Jack Cruz, who, after experiencing a black dog hallucination, causes an accident that lands him in prison and leads to the loss of his commercial driver's license. Upon his release on parole, he tries to get back to his normal life with his wife and daughter, working as a truck mechanic in New Jersey. However, when he learns that his house is going to be foreclosed due to a $9,000 mortgage debt, Cruz is forced to accept an offer to transport an unknown cargo without a driver's license, something that could be his ticket back to prison. That's how he embarks on a journey across multiple state lines, from Atlanta to New Jersey, aboard an old Peterbilt 379 with the goal of staying under the radar. However, Jack realizes that he is transporting something illegal, and from there, many action-packed sequences and chases with the FBI and ATF ensue. With an increasingly complex and tense situation, as his family is kidnapped to force Jack to complete the transport, the movie depicts a fight against all odds where survival and saving his family become the protagonist's top priorities. This film has become the perfect mix for those who love trucks and action-packed movies. Before you go, we'd like to recommend our channel, Gear Unlimited. You'll find excellent content on various topics that we're sure you'll enjoy. Thank you for joining our community. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. Until next time.